Okay. Let's see if this wants to work today. I think it does today. I think we might be live. Hello out there in internet land. I am getting ready to get some more work done on my Ash Waste Nomads Necromunda models. I'm hoping to get these finished up soon, especially because I've been constructing some goblins that I want to get into the painting rotation. Yeah, so that's what's on the theoretical docket for today. Hello, Josh. Hello, Anno. Anno, I've decided to stop ever telling you to go to sleep because it's just, you know what? You make your own decisions. If you want to forever be awake and hanging out on this stream, more power to you, I say. No, Michael, it is not going to be a Nurgle mini. We're back at it again with some Necromunda Ash Waste Nomads. Oh, shit. We're making progress on these guys. It looks like I was doing the yellow parts last time. I think that must be where I left off. So, let's see if I remember what I was doing. Yeah, you were wondering if there was going to be a stream. There was. I just had some very important nonsense to do in Elden Ring. And dinner to eat before streaming today. So, let's see. What all... is that pale yellow? Looks like I might have everything I need on this one. Move on. No, you've already got yellow too. Okay, it looks like I'm just picking out select details and then moving along. So we'll stick with that. It's been a little while since I worked on these guys, so trying to figure out where I left off is always a struggle. No, Josh, you did not hear wrong. There is not going to be a Nurgle model. I don't know why everybody thinks I'm doing a Nurgle mini tonight, but that's not the case. I don't have any Nurgle minis on me, so keep your gross boys out of my hobby time. I haven't lost that game of Malifaux with Mark. I don't intend to lose that game of Malifaux with Mark. So, yeah, no Nurgle. Well, I'm glad that I happened to be streaming when you wanted to hobby. I think it's always great when those things happen to work out. I've been having a little bit of a rough time getting motivated to do actual hobbying this week. I don't know what it is. This week's just been a struggle. And I had Monday off, so I really don't have any excuses as to why that's been particularly difficult. But hey, some days are just easier than others. I'll have you know, though, I'm making some great progress in Elden Ring, so that's good. Although, people think that I should be a higher level than I currently am, so maybe I need to grind somehow. I don't know where the best areas to level up in Elden Ring are, but I'm sure there are other people in the server who can tell me. By the way, if you don't know about our Discord server, it's a pretty cool place to hang out, and you should consider joining, and I can post a link to that in just a moment. Yeah, I don't know if I should spend time grinding or just continue to hammer my way through, as per usual, with no regard to silly things like what level I'm quote-unquote supposed to be. I'll just be the level that I am. Hi, Bagel Guy. Excuse me, Bagel _ Guy 94. Why no Nurgle? I don't like Nurgle minis. I think they're scary and gross, and I don't like them. And my chat loves to harass me for not liking Nurgle. They're like, why not love Nurgle? Is gross. And I'm like, yeah, the whole reason I don't like Nurgle is gross. So yeah, there's a nice bit of back and forth to me thinking Nurgle is gross and being the whole appeal, I guess, of painting Nurgle is that it's super gross, but I just don't like it. It's not an aesthetic that appeals to me, so despite everybody trying to get me to paint Nurgle all the time, I have not caved because I don't want to do it because they model's gross. They stinky. Rise and grind. Grind life challenge. Chicken Night Discord. You are always saying just the weirdest stuff, Josh. I don't know where you get all these ideas, but I hope you never stop. Hope that my life is forever filled with the chaos of random shit like that. My two friends sent me a Furby name generator today. Like, just a random name generator, but it's to name Furbies? I'm assuming it goes kind of hand in hand with that whole subculture of making, like, long-bodied, horrific Furbies. If you know what I'm talking about, excellent. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I literally don't know how to explain it to you, so I'm not going to try. But the name I generated is Kool-Aid Website Firework, which, frankly, why did I choose my current name when I could have been named that? That would have been way cooler. I don't know that there's anything besides that little French fry bit there that needs to be painted this color. Because I'm going to do that chrome, I think. So yeah, that was it on this one. Yeah, Kool-Aid Website Firework. I think it's a pretty strong name, you know? Ever heard about the Furby organ? Yes, obviously I've heard about the Furby organ. It's great. I think symphony orchestras should start constructing them so that everybody can experience the magic of the Furby organ. The people need to know. Honestly, I would really love to have, like, a D&D campaign set in, like, 2004 or something like that, and then just, instead of goblins, it's just like, yeah, this is a Furby. I think that would be really funny. Neopets and Furbies, ideally. Just so it can specifically harken back to my childhood. I really did like Furbies as a kid, like, unironically. I thought they were super cute. I think I had a few of the, like, Furbies you could get as McDonald's toys. Like, I don't know that I had any of the bigger ones. but I had those. I know I had a Furby coloring book, a Furby umbrella, where the little thing at the end of the handle was a little hard plastic Furby, which was awesome. And I had a Furby computer game, which was like really crappy. It was like, you know, a little more than what you could find on a Flash website, with just like clickable coloring pages and like little mini games. But I remember just the same, I would play that thing for hours. Like, I can hear the sound effects in my head talking about it now, which is funny. There's a German YouTuber who created a Furby backpack and a Furby that reads out the text-to-speech messages of her chat. I'm gonna need one of those, Anno. I need a Furby reading out the text-to-speech messages of my chat. I don't know why I hadn't thought to invent that yet, when clearly that is the way of the future. I'm behind the times. I should have a Furby reading my messages. Oliver the cat has been known to cart around your wife's Furby. That's pretty cute. Not gonna lie. Love that for Oliver. What else have I done recently? I'm trying to think of what I can recount for you. I did watch Escaflowne, the Gundam movie that I had given as a selection when trying to decide what movie to watch, and I liked it well enough. I didn't think it was groundbreaking in any sense, but I was entertained. Some of it was weird, but some of it was pretty good. A lot of the mech designs were cool. I feel like that's something that a lot of people, like, say when talking about mecha animes. They're like, oh man, the mobile suits or the robots, they're really cool looking. And that is not, like, I don't give that as much acknowledgement of making something enjoyable as probably I should. When the designs are good, that definitely makes for a more enjoyable watch, because then all the fight scenes look cooler. And I think that's what we're all here for when watching that genre of anime. We want a plot, sure, but give us some cool robot battles, too. This German YouTuber sounds cool as hell, Anno. Just out there inventing weird devices? Like, that's awesome. That's seriously sick as hell. I've been working on developing ideas for Clown Collab 2 as well. I don't know if I'm going to make the Crunch Boss, the goblin that collectively as a stream I would say we all came up with the idea for, because frankly, fantastic idea work. But like a Captain Crunch inspired Gloomspite Git. I don't know if he's gonna be for the clowns or just as like a fun painting project. So I gotta decide on that. Probably sooner rather than later. Although that collab is a while off yet, so don't quite have to get everything sorted. Adepticon is approaching faster than I can believe. I need to make sure that my Malifaux minis are finished, because they're still not. Should I be painting those right now? Probably. Am I painting Necromunda instead? I mean, see for yourself, because I very clearly am. how everything got to be in such freaking various states of complete. But we're sure here. I need to figure out where... Yeah, this orange is the next thing. Hello, Topher. How is it going? Hasn't been that long since I streamed, I don't think. Not long enough where people are, like, worried about me or anything. I don't think it's even been a week yet, but somehow it feels like it's been a long time. Maybe it's just that a lot of stuff happened? I don't know. So many once-in-a-lifetime historical events happen every week that eventually you just stop keeping track of them. Like, I can't tell you what bullshit I was up against this week, but there's definitely been some. Put the Furby videos in the recommendations, thank you. It's been 3 whole days. I was about to call missing persons, jeez. I mean, I can't realistically stream. I can, at this point, promise once a week, but that's about it. I don't think I can realistically keep to a schedule more so than that. Unfortunately, as of right now, with the day job, it's kind of like, well... But then again, I feel like even that's giving an excuse, because Vince Venturella is somehow out there painting the most beautiful miniatures you've ever seen, and streams every week at the same time consistently. But here I am, making excuses for myself. Hee hee hee. Oh dear. Just go full-time YouTube. Yeah, Lila, if only. If only. Hi, how are you doing? How's James? Is James lurking? Hi, James. Everybody, once again, congratulate Lila Mev on the fact that she is now a full-time YouTuber, living the dream. So happy for you, so proud of you. I really hope that the more and more people get into miniature painting, the more and more opportunities for full-time content creators arise. Very much excited for it. I wish I had more energy this week to devote to the videos I'm trying to make. But I keep not wanting to paint the thing that's staring down at me. Like, hey, aren't I supposed to be your next video? Why have you not finished painting me yet? Oh, cool. Fun B-roll is always a good time. What did James make you for dinner? Was it burgers? I did not have burgers. I had a frozen pizza because I was... what did I do? I made dinner the other few nights and, I went grocery shopping, so I was tired and didn't feel like cooking. And I was like, that's a good enough reason to pick up a frozen pizza and not have to actually cook anything. Just throw it in the old oven. Like, I don't know who I'm kidding sometimes with my perceived ability to cook for myself. I picked up a whole big freaking head of cabbage because I was like, oh, that's cheap and there's a lot that you can do with cabbage. None of those things are wrong. Have I ever cooked with a whole big chunk and head of cabbage before? No. Do I know that many recipes for cabbage? Have I ever made any? No. Still, I deluded myself into thinking that that was a smart purchase. So that's what I'm going to be figuring out how to get through. That's the kind of shit you miss if you're not live on this exciting stream, Josh? You look away for a second and famous people start flooding into the chat. You never know. Sometimes Goobertown Hobbies himself shows up. James says boil it with corned beef. What if I don't like corned beef, Josh? Not Josh, sorry, James. Too many J names happening right now. I was gonna try and make this Japanese street food dish called... Oh god, I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation pretty bad, but it's called, okonomiyaki. It's like a fried, pancake sort of thing with shredded cabbage and, egg and scallions. I know egg, right? I'm freaking luxury because eggs are fucking expensive as hell. Who said that a dozen eggs could cost like fucking $5? That's nonsense prices. James Mev does in fact know what's up. 10 out of 10 would recommend his culinary advice. I just don't personally care for it, that's all. The corned beef, anyway. So I'm gonna try and make food that I've never made before with an ingredient that I don't work with often. But I suppose that is how we grow. Yeah, I know the reason egg prices are up is because of the bird flu. The burden of knowing this is exhausting sometimes because I'm just like, but they don't have to be. They could just charge the same for them. The reason that the egg prices are up is corporate greed, of course, like anything else. God forbid the millionaires lose out on some of their profit margin. We could never possibly allow for that. But I'm not gonna get into that, because then I'll get really depressed, and I don't need that in my life right now. I have fun things to look forward to this weekend, so I will focus on those instead. And hopefully, in between doing those fun things, I will also find some time to get some hobby projects done. Oh wait, that's supposed to be silver. They could and they should. Yeah. Yes, fun plans like sushi, although I don't know, depending on the mood, I might try out their Mexican food. Weird place in the Midwest that serves both sushi and burritos. So, like, that's pretty fucking Midwestern of them, honestly. I don't know how to explain that in, like, a way that would make sense for someone not in the Midwest, but it just is like, yep, that weirdly makes sense. Well, if it's only acceptable, geez. High praise, I suppose. Ano, I know what some of those words mean, but I don't know what 3 of them mean. And I think those 3 might be essential to having me understand the sentence you just typed. I'm in the Midwest and I am confused. Tell me more. As far as I understand this, and Lila can correct me if I'm wrong, but guy opens burrito place, guy's nephew learns how to make sushi and is like a accomplished sushi chef and is like, hey, can I serve sushi at your Mexican restaurant? Guy's like, sure, I guess. And then that is why that exists. I don't know why that feels so Midwestern to me, but it just fucking does. I could be wrong. I was not raised in the Midwest, so I can't say I'm naturally acclimated to its many quirks. It would be ideal if I could finish these minis off on stream today. I don't know how possible that is, but we shall see. Because presumably after this, the last steps that we have to do are putting the black in, and then painting on the various stripes. And then once done with that, it's just a wash and then the chrome. That's probably too many steps to accomplish on stream. But maybe we can get to the wash. That would be nice. Ah, yes. I did miss that the restaurant closed, and that's why he asked if he could work there. Okay, but I did remember correctly that it was a nephew. I'm gonna give myself a win on that. It's pretty decent. Hello, Chris. How's it going? Alright, I don't even know if I asked. What are you guys working on? I know, Lila, you said you were working on some editing with some B-roll and stuff like that. What about the rest of you? Any fun projects happening? Obviously, I'm getting these little ash waste nomad done. Or I could just be painting them completely off, out of frame. That would be really cool. I'm sure that's a great viewing experience for everybody involved. Sometimes you just look up and you notice stuff and you're like, shit, I need to fix that. Ooh, waiting for a leaf punch to make fall leaves for bases. Excellent. Those are pretty cool. And you are working on the beer holder. Ah yes, the beer holder of legend. I have heard tell of such a creature. Honestly, seeing your photos of that model in the Discord was pretty fun. They're pretty silly. I love a good goofy model sometimes. The thing about me painting guns is I don't understand how most parts of a gun function. So when people talk about, like, the magazine and the casing and the stock and shit like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna paint this pointy-outy part orange. It's a space gun, so it can pretty much do whatever it wants, in my opinion. I don't think I have to impose human laws on space guns. Especially not when it comes to, like, conventions of color. You're working on a sorcerer for your Thousand Sons kill team. Very cool. I am kind of familiar with the sorcerer models for Zinch. Those are pretty slick. You found some Robo-Bear helmets, and you're using your willpower to not make Panda Marines? I think that's a gross misuse of your willpower. Why aren't you making Panda Marines? That sounds adorable. Hashtag cute hammer. Gotta make Warhammer cute. In fact, you could go one step further, and you could look up, I think his name is Pete the Panda, or Peter Panda. He's a Lisa Frank character, and he's like a very cutesy panda. I believe he is often seen like with a bucket of paint and little coveralls, like he's painting stuff. Just adorable. One of my cats is meowing at me. Is that you? Who's meowing at me? Who's meowing at me? I'm looking behind myself. Which one of you is that? Because it sounds like heck. But you've disappeared now. Yeah, that's definitely Hector. I don't know what he wants. I was trying to play Elden Ring, and my cats were crawling all over me for cuddles, which always makes fighting bosses just that little bit more difficult than they should be. Couple that with the fact that I'm not the best at video games. I would officially call myself not the worst. Like, I feel like I've advanced far enough to be at that point. But I am certainly not the best. Hector presents Sugar Candy Miniatures, starring Hector, sometimes with Fiverr. Listen, I know you're all just here for the cats. Okay, and I don't blame you. I do not hold that against you. However, I'm not going to force them to be on camera if they're busy doing other things. Those things often involve running around with zoomies, scratching at scratching posts, eating food, and napping. However, if they feel like coming by to say hi, I will definitely make sure to turn the camera on them so that you can see them. I would not deny you their cute, fuzzy little faces. I'm happy to see so many people in our Discord server picking up Malifaux minis. Lila, I know that you ordered a Malifaux mini last time you were hanging out here. I don't know, I imagine she hasn't come in yet. That was fairly recently, so I don't know that the post office is that fast. But I'll be excited to see what you do with her. I'm getting closer and closer to finishing up my my next big Night Titan as well, which makes me kind of sad if I'm honest. I enjoy painting knights so much, but they're expensive, so I can't really see myself getting another knight anytime soon after finishing up this one. So I keep finding things to add and ways to procrastinate to keep me from actually having to be done with it. To be fair, there's still a lot of highlighting and stuff to do, but I've added so much needless freehand to this model already, and I'm still looking for places where I could fit more in. To be fair, I've worked this into a video about how doing freehand really isn't all that difficult. At least not my way. Is it horrifically incorrect and will have probably the majority of people saying, hey, you should probably not paint like this because your paint is too thick and stuff like that? Almost absolutely. But I can at least share my method for all the other people out there. I don't know if it'll work for anyone else, but it sure as fuck works for me. Ooh, you keep trawling sales and eBay for Malifaux finds? What kind of Malifaux stuff are you looking for? I got Malifaux stuff that I desperately need to get painted up before game day approacheth. Desperate is... they have to be painted before Adepticon, which is approaching, but is distantly away enough that I still feel like I have time. I don't have enough time as much as I want, so... gonna have to get that shit together. I should probably make that my next streaming project after I finish with these Ash Waste nomads to make sure that they get done in time. Oh, do I hear a cat? Who's down there? Hi, Achilles. Do you want to say hello to the people of the world? You do? Alright. Get some Achilles. Yeah. Oh, now that Hector has heard that there is a chance to be on camera, he has to come around. Say hello, Achilles. Aw, you did say hello. Good job, Bubby. Using that little tiny voice of yours. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Oh, and you even knew to hop up so you could see the chat there. You can see if anybody says hi to you. Achilles says be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't you? Yeah. And then there's Hector over there. Are you gonna settle down so that I can continue to stream? Thank you, buddy. Highlight of the stream, Wild Achilles appeared. He's a good boy. I'm sure I've told the chat at large before, but he likes to watch video game playthroughs of Five Nights at Freddy's, which I discovered kind of on a whim. So now he has a little bandana that one of the characters wears sewn to his collar. Previously, I will have it noted that Achilles never liked to wear a collar at all. I did this because I found a knockoff plushie and went, hey, that'd be stupid and cute. Figuring I would get a photo or two before he tore it off. And to no one's surprise, I was correct. It was stupid and cute. But he's kept wearing it. He's a little weirdo, to be fair. I'm not judging him. But I do think it's funny. He likes what he likes. Which happens to be Five Nights at Freddy's, the color red, and biting things. Like all tiny cat children. Hi, Hector. I can hear you. Hi, buddy. I hear ya. You already got dinner, so there's no reason for you to protest for more. Dapper Dan Achilles, 100%. I'm pretty sure that Hector is complaining because I got they needed more food, so I got a new bag of food today. But there was still food left in the old bag, which is what I put in their food bowls. And I think he just wants me to open a new bag of food, which is what he's been meowing about today. I don't speak cat, of course. This is just my interpretation of my perceived complaints from my lovely, lovely little boys. I'm sure there are normal people in the world who don't try and analyze the conversations they may or may not be having with their cats, but that's certainly what I do in my spare time. Could be bettering myself with, like, classes in web design or learning new painting techniques, but nah. All that's for naught. I seem to enjoy just having one-sided conversations with my cats. It's fun. It passes the time. Did any of you guys catch the first episode of The Last of Us? I know that's still, you know, fairly new, so I won't spoil anything. And I haven't played the games, and I don't know how accurate it is to the story. From what I've seen floating around, it seems like, at least for the first episode, they've done a pretty good job of interpreting the video game to the show. Now again, I'm saying that as someone who has never played the games, so this is just third-party opinions that I've heard. But it's always nice when the video game fans are appeased. They are happy, as opposed to like, why did they make 30 million changes? It's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's what I hear. That's good, I would think. I mean, they're very well-loved games from what I understand. I think I had a little bit of that zombie fatigue when they came out, and I don't know if the creatures are technically zombies or technically something else. You know, they always have different names for them, whether they're walkers or fucking, I don't know, they're just zombies. There's so many, like, fake fantasy names for stuff. It's like, okay, call it whatever store brand you want. But I knows a Zambi when I sees one. Certainly going to be interesting to see how that show plays out. I've got a lot of questions that I'm interested to see answered. Plus, it's something to look forward to every week. I think I was complaining before about how since House of the Dragon ended and Chainsaw Man was over, I needed like the new fix of something to watch weekly and talk to people about. So ideally what happens is Last of Us goes until March at least, because that's when supposedly new episodes of Mando will start coming out, and I can watch my Grogu stories again. It's a lot of Pedro Pascal, to be fair with you, but I like The Mandalorian. I know a lot of people aren't always the biggest fan of the Disney Star Wars adaptations, which is fine. Like what you like, don't like what you don't like, but I like them fine. Walkers always make you think of Texas Rangers, fair enough. I know they're, like, that's the Walking Dead is walkers. I guess White Walkers is technically different for the Game of Thrones zombies, but, you know, it still feels the same. And then they haven't started really calling them, I think they're just calling them infected right now in Last of Us, but that may change. I don't know. Kind of just see where it goes. It would be a whole lot more interesting if zombies did roundhouse kicks. I mean, yeah, that's true. There's a severe lack of roundhouse kicks from zombies in the show, so I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed there. White Walkers are liches. Listen, I'm sorry, I can't argue the etymology of each and every fantasy creature. I'm sure you're right and I'm wrong, but sometimes I just put everything under a general label of zombie and don't think about it that much further. You think The Mandalorian is fun even if you don't like the Disney Star Wars stuff? I agree. I thought the first, like, new Star Wars film was fine. I liked it well enough. I didn't like the second one, and then I didn't watch the third one. I haven't watched Andor yet, or Andor. I don't know how it's pronounced. I hear mixed things about it. Well, there you go. A glowing review from Chris, who says it's the best thing to come out of Star Wars in a long time. I don't know. The frog lady from The Mandalorian's pretty cool. Star Wars is gonna have to work pretty hard to beat a giant frog. At least for me. I think frogs are cool. Alright, let's see. Test model has black and white striped cords, red and white striped pants, and thingies. Okay. Hold on, the others are liches, the White Walkers are the ice zombies. Yeah, they're the ice zombie things up at the wall. That's what I thought anyway. Again, fully admitting that I could be wrong here. It's been a decent while since I read Game of Thrones. I didn't paint his little... Just paint this one in black. It's Necromunda, so like if people have equipment that slightly doesn't match, that's just wasteland, baby. That's fine. This guy's gonna have a chrome rebreather mask thingy. These guys have to be ready for Adepticon as well, because I'm going to be playing my first ever game of Necromunda there. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I still haven't decided how I'm going to base these. So if you have any thoughts, toss them in the chat. Maybe I ought to just, you know, stick with the fast food theme and kind of do candy bases, but I have them on these nice Necromunda bases, so I might try and just do something with that, because it feels like that's what I should do. Alright, this one needs red and white stripes, and then he is good to go. That cloth needs a color there. Gonna make it orange because that's what I have closest to hand. Again, I feel like a little tiny bit of variation in Necromunda models is probably permissible. Hello, interesting that's McD's theme. My first job I ever had was at one, and I can say the joke one their lingo sometimes feels more appropriate. Ba ba ba, go F yourself. I'm not sure I got all of that, Rothian, but McDonald's doesn't sound like a fun first job. It seems pretty difficult. All you do is watch a Song of Ice and Fire and mini painting videos. If Lila painted Stannis while talking House of the Dragon lore, you would mark out. Fair enough. I feel like if Lila was gonna paint a Game of Thrones model, it wouldn't be Stannis. I mean, come on. There's so many badass women in Game of Thrones, and that's Lila's whole, like, MO, you know? She wants to paint all the pretty ladies. Or just the cool ladies. I think it would be interesting to see Lila's take on someone like Olenna Tyrell, who's older but still really cool. Still has a lot of, like, room for fancy fabrics and stuff like that. Stannis is the best? You think Stannis fucking Baratheon is the best that Game of Thrones has to offer? That's your hill to die on? Stannis Baratheon. I mean, I don't really care who the best king is. He's not interesting to watch as a character, in my opinion. I didn't really give a shit what Stannis was doing. I didn't find him very interesting. So I suppose if you're just like, well, he ruled the very tumultuous country pretty well, then okay, fine, I can probably grant you that. But was he cool? Was he interesting? I don't think so. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, a Black Friday in a Walmart McDonald's has gotta be one of the places that could be described as hell on earth. I don't know that I would be taking Sir Davos's opinion on everything. He's fine, I guess. He reads a little creepy to me sometimes. Mr. Davos Seaworth and his weird code of honor. I did like very much the actor who played him had like a fun accent, which was cool. Gotta love a fun accent. Yes. I did read the books, but I read them in high school, so I don't remember them all too well. Unfortunately, my head's been packed full of other lore since, so it's hard for me to remember. I know there's a lot of differences between the books and the screen adaptation. I just don't happen to remember the books well enough to quite tell you what they were. Definitely stuff like, I know in the books Tommen is supposed to be like, I don't know, 7 when he's made king, and his favorite thing to do was just stamp his little seal on things, on like letters and stuff. And so having him be like, I don't know, at least 12 in the show was weird. Cause that's like a huge difference. And he also, spoiler alert, just general spoiler alert, he jumps out a window, so That's different. I don't remember that happening in the books, and I could be wrong because again, it's been years since I've read them. But yeah, I don't remember too well what Davos was getting up to in the books. No Lady Stoneheart. Yeah, people are really into Lady Stoneheart, and I don't remember too much. Like, I know she's an important character. That's like to do with Catelyn Stark, right? Catelyn Stark was a character who unfortunately bored me to tears, and I always kind of groaned when her perspective came up. So, yeah. I have problems with mother characters in general. It's, you know, a fun result of my own childhood is sometimes I just can't deal with that. Tommen does love stamping his seal. Listen, if you've ever had a wax seal, they're pretty fun to stamp. I have one myself. It's a blast. Because, like, I'll remember details like that specific enough to be like, yes, I very clearly did read these books. Can I tell you, like, what the significant differences are between this and the show? No, I can't. Rip to Robb Stark. I genuinely, in my stupid little brain, believed that he would go on to become the next king. I really did. I was very betrayed by the Red Wedding. You can see all the foreshadowing for it, of course, after it happens, and then you're like, well, alright, I'm dumb. Which is the best way, I think, to have a plot like that go. Where it doesn't feel out of nowhere. It feels inevitable, and you realize it about 4 seconds before the characters do, but too late to do anything to avoid it. Love that. Yeah, I'm okay with guys as a gender-neutral term. I don't know if every single non-binary or trans person in the world is, but for me, you are completely fine to keep using guys as just a catch-all. I don't mind that at all. I didn't know that the Hound's arm kept falling off in the action figure factory. That's kind of funny. I'm excited for more House of the Dragon. It feels good to be excited about Game of Thrones again, frankly. It's just fun. I like to have my little fantasy series sometimes. It's a nice change of pace. I say that as though I'm not constantly surrounding myself by fantasy genres and stuff all the time everywhere. As though I don't play D&D on a regular basis. This is peak YouTube for you now, because we're talking Game of Thrones. That's very fair. You joked it after returning both figures that it might be foreshadowing that the Hound loses an arm. I mean, Game of Thrones, man. Anything could happen. Although I do love all the posts that are like people freaking out about the drama that happens in Game of Thrones. Meanwhile, I was watching super violent animes at 12 and was just like, yep, been there, lived through that. I was not watching super violent animes at 12, but I do think that's funny. Going to bed. Thanks for joining us, Anno. Get some rest. Always a delight having you here. Hope you have a good one, man. There's still so many details left to paint on these guys with all the black. Ugh. I was hoping, you know, I was hopeful. I was like, man, we cruised through that first one pretty decently. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make the progress. We're gonna get the wash on these guys despite all odds. No, we're probably not, but that's okay. Gradual progress is still progress. Oh man, yeah, Devilman Crybaby. That is an anime that I've seen that one. I clicked on that and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of an interesting title. And I was like, oh wow, that's a lot of adult content right there in the first couple episodes. Not even first couple episodes. First episode. First 20 minutes probably. That's fair. I don't know that the emotional impact hit me for Devilman Crybaby. I just didn't get as invested in the characters as I would have liked to. I think the overall style and approach to it was a little too much for me, which is fine. I certainly see where that impact could hit, and it could have that kind of scope. I'm just picky. I'm always picky. I'm sorry. My favorite character in Devilman Crybaby, though, was that guy, the shaved-headed guy who raps all the time. I don't remember the character's name, but he was fun. I liked him and all of his friends. Hi, Caleb. Oh, your favorite workbench, buddy. That's high praise. There's a lot of good streams you could be watching. But you've decided on mine, which frankly is of course the correct decision. I commend you for being so wise as to choose my stream, but it's always nice to hear. It's very nice to be somebody's favorite. I quite like that. Hehe. 5 Yulan. Ooh, that's a new one, Keegan. That's a new one. I will be right back. I'm going to grab a can of tea because I don't have a beverage and my throat is dying. BRB, won't be long. Ugh, sorry about that. Pulled a massive plug of dried superglue out of the cap today, and it was an immensely pleasurable experience. Well, hey, takes all kinds, I suppose. What you working on? Caleb Keen, what's on your hobby desk tonight? Do tell. Gonna crack open a cold can of my favorite beverage. Cheers. Refreshing. Delightful. If they ever stop making that stuff, I'm quitting. Tonight you're drawing clowns because you ran out of clowns to build. Oh, very cool. I don't know if you were here, Keegan. I don't know if you were here on the stream for the creation of the Crunch Boss. But I feel like some of your very epic Warhammer art would be extremely funny to sit beside him. For those of you who, it is you who, like, I'm sure of it in my brain, but there's a hint of doubt, and I don't know why tonight. It's probably just the anxiety talking, but you're the one who drew me that really epic picture of Hector, right? Like, I 100% know that's you. And my brain is, yeah, okay. Yeah, I knew that. I'm so sorry. I don't know why there was that doubt. It just happens sometimes. That's how anxiety works. Send you a photo and you'll 100% draw him? Hell yeah. Alright. Cool. I'll send you a photo of the Crunch Boss. Thank you. He's like gonna be a Captain Crunch inspired goblin man on a squig. You know what would help with anxiety? Thinking about it really hard all day. No, what actually helps with anxiety is watching the Moomins and playing Neopets. At least for me. I can't say, I'm not a doctor, right? So it's not gonna work for everybody. It does work for me, though. Not 100% of the time. Also, just having really understanding friends is a cool way to deal with anxiety. Friends who acknowledge what a panic attack is and just kind of ride with you through those are some good friends. I wish Moomins were on right now. I mean, I could very easily put the Moomins on, but then I'd want to watch the Moomins instead of paint. So, Moomins are not on right now. It's one of those days where I don't think I can focus on two moving images at once. That being the real world of stuff I'm actually painting, and the fake, idyllic world of Moomin Valley, in which capitalism is not nearly so much of a problem as it is here. I wonder what I would look like as a Moomin character. This is a thought I've had multiple times. I don't know if there are any artists out there taking Moomin commissions, but if I ever find one, I'm gonna give them a good chunk of money. Be like, please depict me as a Moomin character. It would make my entire life. Thank you, bye. That's how you commission people, I think. That's what you say to them. Yeah, if you're obsessing over clowns this week, we're painting some cursed Ronalds. This is Honk Shanks. He will honk and then shank you. He's very out of focus, which is, you know, just how clowns affect normal cameras. I think he might be in focus now. I can't quite tell. But my friend Mark named him, and he's the test model. He's not the leader of the evil Ronalds, but I don't know what I'm gonna call this, like, group just yet, but yeah, he was the test model. You just picture Fiverr as a non-binary little my? I love that. I love that so much. Like, see, because there's so many, like, unspecified creatures in the Moomins. Like, do you end up vaguely humanoid like Little My, or are you, like, a troll like Moomin? Are you whatever Mrs. Philly Jonk is? Do you end up like, fuck, I'm blanking. Or do you end up like one of just the little things, like the fuzzy little guys that are they're just like little outlines, basically. Like that little one that Snufkin meets by the fire that one time. I know that's very specific. But, like, so many of the Moomin characters are just little creatures. They're just little guys. Or you could be whatever Mr. Hemulin is. You're working on an MGM MS07B Goof Custom. Very cool. I almost bought a Gundam today. I was working on painting my knight, as I've been doing. you know, on my breaks, during my breaks at work, and never any other point in time during the workday. Because I'm responsible and a good employee. So on my breaks, I've been painting this Titan. And I was like, man, I really wish that there was brown panel liner so that when I was painting chocolate and candy, it wouldn't be black, which doesn't make as much sense. It's like, to me, a panel liner is great, but I wish it came in brown. And then I looked it up, and it comes in brown. It comes in brown, which is perfect. So while I was shopping for some brown Tamiya panel liner, the website that I was buying it off had a ton of Gundams. And I looked at them, and I thought about them. And then I said, you haven't even finished painting the Gundam that you already own. Please do that before buying another Gundam. So then I didn't buy another Gundam. Remember the days before the internet where you had to catch the episode of a show you like, but every episode wasn't ever really in order? Yes! I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender in that format. I missed Avatar in its original run, okay? So I never got to see it, like, as it was coming out. But at one point, Nickelodeon was, you know, they were just playing random episodes, but they would have, like, marathons occasionally for the, like, Day of Black Sun event and stuff like that. They were just, you know, with the reruns. So I watched a bunch of shit out of order. But then saw a lot of the big events, and then they had, like, a marathon of the last season, leading up to the finale. But, like, the first 2 seasons of Avatar, I saw wildly out of order. I still like it. Still think it's great. Have gone back since and watched it in order. But yeah, that's pretty wild. It's kind of funny to think about how, like, we just accepted that because there was no other way to watch stuff if you missed the initial run. Like, who's sitting here, watching iCarly in order or anything like that, you know? That's pretty cool, Keegan. I didn't know that clowns were that ancient. Hi, Brady. How's it going? Josh, it's so kind of you to want to send me that. I have already purchased and ordered brown panel liner on my own dime. If you would like to make a donation, though, you're more than welcome to do so. I do have a Ko-fi, and I have a Patreon as well. So if you'd like to contribute, any of you in either of those manners, that's pretty cool. Obviously, no obligation. I'm just happy that you're here. But yeah, that helps me out with buying supplies and minis and keeping the channel going and feeding the me and the 3 cats. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing this full time because there's not... my channel, for what it is, has incredible support and very dedicated fans, but, unfortunately, because of the economy existing, it's not quite big enough that I can run my entire life off of it, so anything helps, and I do appreciate it. Even you just offering is very, very kind. I really appreciate anyone who sends me stuff. I've had a P.O. box, which is really sweet because I've gotten a couple of cards. And, I mean, if you've seen the Spaghetti Tyranid video, you know I got sent a Play-Doh Fun Factory, which was really cool. I will be passing that along, by the way, to a family with some children who might actually enjoy the Play-Doh in there, as opposed to me keeping it, a person, a fully 27-year-old, you know, I did play around with the Play-Doh. The smell of it was intensely nostalgic. But yeah, I don't think I need a Play-Doh Fun Factory for just my daily hobby, and recreational needs. It would have been great if it had worked as a hobby tool. Ooh, excellent. You're really embracing the fast food concepts that you came up with. I'm so glad. I really, really appreciate you letting me jump on the whole McDonald's one for these guys. I know! They are making a Killer Clowns from Outer Space online game! I'm so freaking excited for it. It looks like it's gonna be fun. That's like one of my favorite bad old movies. I hope that they will put it on PlayStation, and that way I can play it. And if some of you guys want to play together, I don't know how cross-platform or what kind of situations they'll have, but if we can make that work, I'll definitely play Killer Clowns from Outer Space with y'all. The question is, am I going to make a Burger King rival gang? No. As much as Necromunda in terms of what, like, what it, like, the vibe of it is with hive cities and stuff like that has appeal to me. Most of the gangs, I don't tend to paint humans. I think I've said it before. It merits saying again, but I really only like to paint, like, goons and little goofy guys. And Ashwaste nomads, they have enough of that quote-unquote goon factor for me, that I'm interested in painting them. So I was very happy when they came out with these, because I was like, finally, some good fucking food. A Necromunda gang that I actually want to play. That I want to paint, so. Can't speak to how well their playstyle is gonna mesh with whatever I got going on, but hopefully well. That's the hope. I say that like, you know, I know what's going on. I don't. I'll be figuring out all this Necromunda stuff for the first time, and I don't know, it seems like the kind of thing I just have fun doing, so it's really what we're gonna do. Just trying to make sure that these stripes line up. They look a little Beetlejuicy with all the Hamburglar stripes. This guy is like my favorite one because I had to kit bash a bunch of parts from him. He was missing his arm and I couldn't find it, so that's why he gets cool metal robot arm. And then he has a Zinch cape instead of a regular, like, Ashwaste Nomads kind of cape. Because I also lost the flag backpack for him. So the alternative was just giving him a spare part that I had. Yeah, I think Brady's already made Wendy's Eschers and has a video on it, if I'm not mistaken. Brady's come up with a ton of different gang ideas, which I believe have been posted in my Discord. So if you want to check those out, they're pretty cool. It should let you post a link to those if you want to, Brady, so that people can check them out. I'm not sure if YouTube does or doesn't. I, as the voice of this stream, will absolutely permit it, but I don't know if that, like, will actually work or not. I have no fucking clue. If I see, like, a prompt to, requesting it, I will grant that. I'm not scared of humans. I just don't like painting them. I don't have fun painting them most of the time. Which, you know, is great for when playing D&D and people are like, great, I have a human character, and I'm like, no you don't. What if this human were a goblin instead? What if they were a tabaxi? What if they were a turtle? Because that's what I have the miniatures for. Sure, freaking fancy-ass humans out of here. Yeah, I thought you had done a video. I remember watching that video. I was like, I've seen some Escher Wendy's before. This guy's expression I just love. He's really cool too. Of course, probably my camera's focus is not the best, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see him, but we're gonna try. That was a much bigger stripe than what I wanted. Making him look a little bit more panda-y than Ronald-y. I think I really would like to try and clean that up. Hot tip for if you mess up. Can immediately catch it, you can wipe it away. I will now let him sit and dry so I can have another go at that. You instead. Come with me. You don't think the link's working on live stream? Sorry about that. I don't know how to permit that here, or I would. But I think Brady has posted that before in the self-promotion section of our Discord server. So if you are on the Sugar Candy Miniatures Discord, which why wouldn't you be? It's pretty cool. You can check it out there. Disc orb? Yes, the disc orb. The disc orb that allows us to communicate with one another. It's always so funny to me when websites are like, you can't redirect or discuss other websites. Like, oh, while I'm on here, I just have to pretend that Facebook doesn't exist, man. Like, sure, banning the discussion of Instagram will make me forget its existence. That'll work. Look way too cool. I don't know why they look cool. Like, they should look lame and not at all scary, you know? Because it's like, oh, LOL, it's Ronald McDonald. But they look good. I don't know what it is. Science, probably. You will not discuss other websites. Oh, shit. Apparently my... Ugh. The pillow I'm using for my back just fell and decided to turn the cord with the light, so lights went out for a second there. We're good though, don't you worry. that should all, I think... Now, since this is like a mechanical part, I think I'm gonna do it in the black and white as opposed to the red and white, because the red and white's usually reserved for, like, the actual cloth of, like, sleeves and stuff, so I think I'll be doing these parts in the black and white stripes. Because I'm me, and I get to make these decisions if I want to. Fiverr's Pillows refusing them to promote other websites. That's fair. Yes, get some caffeine if you need it. I'll still be going for a little while more. I don't know how much longer. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna get these done, but I'm probably not gonna finish these up this stream, unfortunately. Much as I would like to. That doesn't seem like a very realistic timeline for me right now. That's okay, though. Hobby to have fun, not to adhere to any sort of made-up deadline. And there aren't any kind of hobby police that will come after me if I don't finish these tonight. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself until they show up at my door. So far, I have no finished miniatures on the books for this year. I'd like to turn that around by the end of the month, but I guess we'll see what we get. Now, to be fair, have I purchased miniatures this year? Technically, I've only purchased 5 because I pre-ordered the big box of goblins last year, and my game store made an oopsie, and so it wasn't delivered until this year. But I'm not going to count those towards this year's miniatures total. So far, we're just at 5, which is pretty good. And they're secondhand. They're not even new. I didn't even get new models. I got crusty old model. Well, they're probably not crusty. They're used ash waste nomads, which I said I wasn't going to buy until figuring out if I liked Necromunda or not. But then I really wanted to paint bugs, which seemed like enough of a justification if you're me. Five miniatures or 5 boxes. 5 miniatures. My name is 5, so 5s is acceptable. Exactly. Exactly. You get it. Brady, I don't know what you mean when you say use crusted ashleys. I'm sorry. I genuinely do not know what you mean. Oh, Ashley's like ash waste. Gotcha. Gotcha. Some new Necromunda terminology that I've got to acclimate to. Fortunately, I have people like you helping me out, showing me the ropes, getting me into the Necromunda hobby. Seems like a nice community. From what I understand, everybody's been super enthusiastic when you mention Necromunda. They're like, oh my gosh, yes, that's the best one, you should play it. Seems like a similar level of enthusiasm to Blood Bowl, if I'm honest. My local game area, my local game store has a Blood Bowl league that I play in, and the league head, the champion, I don't know what you call that guy running stuff. I always just call him the coach, which is funny, and he's always like, but in Blood Bowl you are the coach of your own team, and I'm like, yeah, but you're our coach. So, Coach is always really excited when anybody new expresses an interest in Blood Bowl. He'll go off for hours if you let him, which is great. Just talking about all the stuff he likes, teams, tournaments he's played in, paint schemes, all that kind of stuff. He's a great resource. And does tolerate me constantly forgetting how the rules of the game work, despite the fact that I've been playing it for months now. That's the kind of coach you want to have. One who puts up with your bullshit. Thanks, Alan. You're the man. That reminds me, I haven't registered for our Sevens League, which I should probably do at some point. I'll get around to it. Alright, yeah, I think I need to paint that white and then do red stripes on that area. That's another one ready for the next stage, which is good. We're getting through these slowly but surely. Let's see if we can fix this one up that we had messed up before. You walk out to get coffee and your sister has come home with an entire plate of meatballs for you. I don't know how well coffee pairs with meatballs, but that does sound like a win, so good for you, man. That's awesome. Alright, let's see if I can reprise my role of trying to paint this face. Yeah, that one came out better. It's not perfect, but I'm gonna live with it. That's acceptable. And yes, acceptable is good enough in my world. This is Necromunda. I am allowed to be messy and imperfect. Hee hee hee. I win. I make the rules. Take that, GW. All the more reason why I'm unlikely to win a golden demon in my lifetime. I think the Warhammer community blog, or just, like, I follow them on Instagram, so I see their links on their Instagram stories and stuff. They keep teasing stuff about goblins. They're like, oh man, Gloomspite gets they're getting a new thing. Well, let's talk about goblins. And I'm like, show me the goblins. I don't wanna read your article about the goblins you already have. I can look at pictures of those on your website. If you're gonna talk about goblins, I want you to show me new goblins. Goblins I don't have. Goblins I don't know about. Show me some better spiders than you currently have. Because right now, I'm not painting those spiders. I don't like the look of them. They're not great. Actually, I don't know all the, like, sub-factions of Gloomspite Gets. I feel like that's what I should look into to decide, which one the clown army would best fall into. I assume that Moon Clan is, like, one of them, which fucking cracks me up, the fact that, like, Moon Clan grots are a thing, because that's just a warrior cat's name, my guy. That's a warrior cat's book right there. Like, that cracks me up. But yeah, I don't know what any of the sub-factions of Gloomspite Git are called, and I should figure that out at some point in time. You're bummed they took most of their Underworld stuff off their primary site. You want to get all the warbands and stuff, but they just made it more difficult. Aw, dang, that sucks. A lot of those Underworld's warbands are really cool, too. Like, I really like the sculpts for a lot of them. I wish that they were incorporated better in the actual game. But it is what it is, I guess. When Warhammer references warrior cats, I'm telling you. Clearly someone's a fan. Ugh. Same with the Beasts, but it's known they're only getting one new guy. That's too bad. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we know that we're getting the wolf guys at least, right? I don't like them, but they're new and they're coming out. So I guess probably it's going to be more stuff in that vein. In which case I won't be excited because I don't really like how they look kind of serious and not as goofy. My goblins gotta be goofy. You call it a hobgrot or a hobgoblin or a cruel boy, like, that's different. But you're talking your premier line of goblins, it better be goofy goblins. They better be doing something silly. I don't need serious war goblins, okay? Squigs, great. Excellent. I will get more squigs if they're better new squigs. I even want the Underworld's warband. The new goblin one that came out, because there's some great models in there. I especially love the goblin holding the mallet riding the squig. That's a favorite. Sorry, I had to be really quiet so I could focus on painting that little clown face there. Got it, though. It's basically all been painting stripes and stuff, which takes a decent bit of focus. Wolf Riders be like when circus have animals. Oh yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, even now, like, so much of the stuff, my friend and I were playing Elden Ring today, and he was like, you know what Blide's name in Welsh means? And I'm like, no. He's like, wolf. They named him Wolf the Half-Wolf, and it's like, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Stuff like that still happens. You have lizard men, and God, do you love them? Are they for, are you talking about the lizard men warband, or just lizard men in general? Being goofy little guys. I think lizard men are cool. Their sculpts are really old, though. They could use some new skinks. Even worse, because GW's shown that they're very capable of sculpting new skinks with that new warband. Alright, much as I'd like to continue and complete these and try and finish this out, my back's starting to hurt, so I gotta end this stream for today. We did make some really good progress. We only have 3 clowns to finish up the black stripes on, and then we just have to add the red stripes before putting a wash on them, at which point they're basically done. I just have to add in the chrome and then figure out how to do the base. So these will probably be finished the next time I stream. Like, if I do a stream to finish them off, I can see getting it completed in that stream. At least, I'll get to the stage where I put the wash on for sure, but then it's like, will that be dry or do I wait? Anyway, they'll be done really soon. So I'm looking forward to having that full team completed to show off to you guys. It's gonna be really fun. Take some nice photos and stuff like that. I hope that you all have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for joining me on stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, like this stream, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice night.